Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, coming here live today for another love circle. And today we are talking about a very touchy topic, and that is the topic of self abuse. Today we're going to talk about how to detect and how to heal self abuse. Now, when we talk about abuse, especially when we talk about in the field of inner healing, trauma, generally, the word abuse is associated with somebody doing something to you. So there is physical abuse, there's sexual abuse, there is emotional abuse, there's narcissistic abuse, there's all kind of things that we attach with the word abuse. We are not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about how you do all that to yourself. My expertise is your relationship with yourself. My expertise is your inner world. What goes on within you that shifts the way you feel, that creates the thought that you think, that makes you act the way that you act. So we are just going to focus on that. And we are going to focus on all the different ways you abuse yourself and how all the different ways you can heal it. And you can have a very nurturing, grounded, and juicy experience in this lifetime. So let's just take a look at what does abuse mean. Abuse mean when there is an imbalance, when one thing is more than the other, when you were more giving in the relationship than the other person was giving. That is where that imbalance creates abuse. And sometimes it's of course at a very massive level than just an imbalance of power in terms of our actions. But we are focusing on what's going on within you when there is an imbalance within you, when you're not giving to yourself what you are required to sustain a happy, healthy lifestyle. That is what comes under abuse. Why does abuse exist? It exists as a symptom of disconnect. So when I am disconnected from myself, whatever that self is, my body, my soul, my existence, and I am always outwardly focused, that is when I start to abuse myself. Sometimes even the thoughts that we think come under the category of self abuse, and we don't even realize that. Self-abuse is where you're taking parts of you and you're just throwing it out. You're like, take my arm, take this part of me, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And then what happens at the end of the day? We feel tired, we feel drained, we feel like I don't have anything left to give to anybody else. But where is the problem? The problem is never with other people. The problem is within you. You don't have a balance within you. You don't know how you are hurting yourself, how you're abusing yourself because you're not even connected with yourself. If you're not even connected with yourself, how would you know? So, this is all the stuff that we'll be working through and we'll be talking about. Now, just a little bit, let's talk about it before we move on to the whole how we can heal it and fix it within ourselves so we can live a happier life. Why does self-abuse exist? Where does it start? No child is born saying, okay, I'm here on earth now. From today on, I am going to abuse myself. That is something that gets created as a child when we are little and someone else overpowers us, take our rights away, and we feel helpless because we are helpless. We are dependent on other adults in that age, and there's nothing we can do for ourselves. Unconsciously, a decision is made. That is how I'll treat myself just to make sense of my own life. So, generally, a child who's sexually abused, physically abused, their whole life they will have trouble with a connection with their body. Either they eat too less, either they eat too much, either they ignore their sleep, either they just become workaholic. They don't know how to read into their body cues. a child who's been emotionally manipulated, where the parents are playing the child, turning the child against each other. Now, that child has very loose emotional boundaries. They're always seeking validation. They're always seeking praise. They're always trying to make other feels better about, like, they just become like, sometime even this Joker character in other story, and they just want people to be happy. They don't want anybody too angry, because what is going on? They're running away from confrontations, because that is how they made sense of their life. So there's all these aspects of our childhood. That's why it is a very crucial part of our inner healing when we do the inner child work, when we connect with that innocent power that still lives within all of us and nurtures every single thing that happens in our life. That is where all the power comes from. It's very important to heal and nurture that relationship and connect with it. That is truly when we can stop abusing ourselves, because when we can start see, I am somebody worthy of getting my own attention, that is the level where we stop abusing ourselves. So now let's look at um, what are the different aspects of self-abuse. The way I like to teach this, I like to categorize things and put them into all kind of different steps. For the ease of it, I categorize it as physical abuse, emotional abuse, and spiritual abuse. Now, first, let's look at the physical abuse. I just want you to pay attention to how you treat your body. Do you move it? Do you exercise it? Do you pay attention to when your body's talking to you? Do you pay attention to when you have a headache, when you need to sleep? Or do you say, one of the craziest thing I heard once somebody say, that the sleep needs to be earned. Apparently, in the hustle culture, that is something that is being taught, because apparently we are all supposed to retire at the age of 45 and be millionaires. So if you're not, you're a loser, that kind of mindset. So in that category, your sleep needs to be earned. Is that true, my friend? Is that really true? How many people we know who did sleep very less, earned a lot of money, and they wanted to retire early, didn't even get time to enjoy their money or their life, and then all of a sudden they collapsed. What happened there, my friend? Self-abuse, physical self-abuse. One of the things that really woke me up in that category, and by the way, everything I'm teaching here, I am work in progress myself. So I'm not talking from a place where I have already achieved the place where I don't abuse myself. These are all the things coming from a place of awareness and growing every single day. So my job is to bring that awareness to you. It's up to you. What do you do with that? One of the things that my mentor suggested that really woke me up was, my soul can exist in this reality. There could be an Alia Jamal right here sitting right now if I have this vessel. Vessel is my body. So if I'm interested in staying here, if I'm interested in sharing my light with other people, if I really want to help other people, if I'm already at that level of understanding, because there are people who are not, there are people who think they're just an extra number out of the almost 8 billion people. I'm not talking about that. Once you have the realization, I'm somebody, I can make a difference, I want to help people, then it's so crucial for you to take care of this vessel. Then it becomes even more important to take care of this vessel, because if the vessel fails, if the vessel didn't get enough sleep, didn't get the right amount of nutrition, if it's not getting the right amount of movement, it can give up. So we do have a control over how well I'm taking care of my body. So when I feed myself good food, when I actually pay attention to what I'm about to feed myself, there's a thought involved. I'm not just feeding myself whatever. And there was a time when I was feeding myself whatever. When there's a thought involved, that right there shifts the energy within me. Now, I feel I am somebody. There was a time when I used to make breakfast, and whatever my son likes, that would be the breakfast. He'll get half, I'll get half. And working with my mentor, when I realized I'm abusing myself this way, I started taking more time making two different breakfasts. Of course, it took longer to do it, especially in a busy weekday morning when the school is in session. I would take the time for myself. I will ask myself, Alia, what do you want to eat? No matter how long it will take. When I prepared that and when I sat there with my plate of breakfast, not whatever my son liked and eating half of it, that shifted the energy within me. I started seeing myself as I am somebody, I am important. And I know there are a lot of people who think self love or unconditional self love is narcissism. Narcissism is a very afraid person who does not love themselves, and they put a shell around them and they start becoming abrasive and manipulative. That's not self-love. When you truly go on the path of unconditional self-love, you cannot help but love the people, even the ones who don't like you, because that's all you see, because you become it. When you start to nurture yourself with good food, you will do the same for other people. You will cook even better for your family. You'll cook even better for your guests. I have a specific standard what comes in my kitchen and what I get to cook, and the standard is same when any guest is coming over. It does not dwindle just because I'm not eating that food. It comes from that place of connecting and stop abusing the body. So one of the reason it's hard for us to nurture our body the way I'm talking about, and again, speaking from personal experience, when we are disconnected from our body, when we abandoned feeling our body in a very young age, because whatever was happening to our body was too painful, and we kind of exited the body and we got stuck over here. And generally, it comes from a place of physical abuse, even if you got slapped once, or it comes from sexual abuse, somebody violating our boundaries in an unhealthy way. That is when we disconnect from our body. We don't know if we are hungry. We don't know if we are sleepy. We don't even know if we are sick. We just keep going on. So the way you will heal it is by reconnecting with your body. And the very first time you'll do it, it might feel like, what in the world I'm doing? I don't feel anything. That is a sign you're so disconnected from your body. So I'm going to take you through a 2-minute exercise. You can do it longer if you want. I'm going to take you through a exercise, and you can do it every night. You can do it multiple times in the day, whatever you feel like, whatever feel comfortable to you. So you're just going to close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your facial muscles, your legs. And now imagine there is a big ball of light on top of your head. And just feel this light. And now imagine this light is coming into your head, your brain, and your whole brain is lighting up. Now just ask your brain or your head collectively, is there something you would like to tell me? And then you might hear something, you might not. If you hear that, that's a sign of a good connection. Already there, you're connected with the consciousness of your own body, because everything has its own consciousness. That means the connection has been made. And if you don't hear anything, just come back to it tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, till you start hearing. And now just say thank you. You can also say I love you. Move to the mouth. Same thing. Allow the whole mouth to be lit up by this light, your tongue, your jaw, your teeth. Checking in. Is there anything you would like to tell me? Thank you. I love you. Your throat. Is there something you would like to tell me? I love you. Thank you. Your chest coming into your lungs. I love you. I thank you. Coming into your stomach, collectively your belly area, your intestine, your kidneys. Is there anything you would like to tell me? Thank you. I love you. Coming into your reproductive organs, your ovaries, your hip area. Is there anything you would like to tell me? Thank you. I love you. Connecting with your thighs, both thighs, your knees, your legs, all of them, your feet. Is there anything you would like to tell me? Thank you. I love you. Connecting with your shoulder, your arm, your palm of your hand. Is there anything you would like to tell me? Thank you. I love you. And now, just for a few seconds, feel your whole body from head to toe, as if you have become one with your body and you can feel every single cell all at the same time. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. What we just did there, we connected with the consciousness of your own body. Because when you were young and at whatever age you abandoned your body because it was too painful to feel it, to be with it, you disconnected from this consciousness. It's just like having a friend that you stopped talking to. And now you're calling the first time and you're trying to make a conversation. It's awkward. The other person doesn't want to talk to you. They kind of don't trust you because you're the one who stopped calling them. They maybe have a lot of questions where you have been all these years. It's that kind of energy that we are trying to resolve. I can tell you the very first time I did this exercise many years ago, I heard nothing. And now just taking you guys through it, I heard from every single organ and I got messages. This, my friend, this body wisdom is the best friend you are going to have. I cannot give you that. No one else can give you that. Your body has its own wisdom. It's going to tell you how you're abusing it. Every single part of my body gave me a message. And I consider myself a little bit of a weird person that I am nurturing my body. I am more proactive in providing for my physical needs. And still, there are parts that I'm neglecting and I'm getting a message. So do this exercise to connect with your body, and over time you'll see you'll start eating better. You'll start losing weight. You'll start, if that is one thing on your goal, you'll start to strengthen your body by healthy exercise. You'll maybe start to dance if that is what your body want to do. You might start jumping up and down if that's what your body want to do, but it requires building a relationship first. When you stop abusing your body, that is when other people stop abusing your body. And I know this is going to be very, 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 very close to our heart. It might even trigger some of us, but that is the truth. If I am abusing my body, only then the other person can abuse. When I love my body, everyone loves my body. So for those people among us who are stuck in body shaming, oh my God, my body's this way, my body's that way, I'm afraid somebody will look at me and say that. My friend, you're creating it within you. When you heal that within you, it doesn't matter what someone else say. And what I have experienced when I started falling in love with my body, and especially like, after having a kid and everything being loose and hanging and all kind of stretch marks, it is challenging to look at our body and compare it to our teenage self and be like, what happened here? But the more I started falling in love with my body, the more I started getting comments. And it's not that I'm walking around in a bathing suit. I started getting comments from other people, whether it's my family, whether it's friends, whether it's strangers, about my body, which is fully covered. What is it? What is it that they are seeing? They're feeling the vibration that I am holding within me. That's how easy it is to shift your reality when it comes to um, abusing yourself and how shifting it to more balanced and loving way of existence. So I know we are going a little bit slow through this because this is a very important topic. The next one is emotional abuse. Now, this one is going to hit many chords with many people. This is a place where if you are not ready to be honest with yourself, you're going to look at your life and you'll say, oh, I love myself. I don't abuse myself. I have healthy boundaries. I am so good in this area. So I am going to invite you to be honest with yourself. And if you're already honest with yourself, go a little deeper, get a little bit more honest with yourself, maybe 1% more honest with yourself. And now let's look at all the different ways we emotionally abuse ourselves. Every time you seek for someone validation, every time someone else's opinion of you is more important than your opinion. And how do we know that when they say there's something wrong with you, it hurts? When it hurts, that means their opinion of you is important to you. You just don't want to admit it. When someone, when you go above and beyond to do something for someone else, but you won't do that for yourself, that is also emotional abuse. When you're going to sit there, you're going to spend hours nurturing for them and, holding their hand and tell them everything will be okay. Don't worry, don't worry. And then you get upset and you're just completely ignoring yourself. You get yourself busy in the kitchen. You get yourself busy in cleaning instead of sitting there being present with yourself emotionally when you're running away from yourself, when you don't even want to feel your emotions because it's so painful. That is emotional abuse. When the only thing you care about how others perceive you, do they love you? When you're seeking that energy from other people, when you want to find it outside of you, that is when you're emotionally abusing yourself. When you keep saying yes, 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 and you don't say no, because that fear of rejection is so painful. You don't even want to go there. You rather say yes and you keep peace and not like, step on anybody's toe. And that is emotional abuse. That is when you're emotionally abusing yourself. You're sending yourself a consistent message that what I think, what I feel, what I say does not matter. Other people matter. And that comes from generally from the personality who are peacekeepers. They have been peacekeepers their whole life. Those are the people who heavily emotionally abuse themselves. We all do, but that is the one. If you're that person, because I'm still recovering peacekeeper, um and that is one thing I'm always asking myself, Alia, did you ask yourself before you said yes, or did you just say yes? And when I say, did you ask yourself, you can just ask yourself, hey, um you know do we want to do this? Yes, no, maybe. And then you make a decision. That is one level. But where I prefer to live, I ask from the infant self of me because that is the work I have done. I asked the 5-year-old self of me, I asked the 17-year-old, and I asked the 28-year-old. If all four of them are a hard yes, that's when I go for it. That is when I know I'm congruent, I'm aligned within me, and I'm not just trying to bend backward just to keep peace. Now, of course, for those of us who are parents, sometimes our kids ask us something we don't want to do, and then we have to do it because they are kids, they are dependent on us. I am not talking about that, but also we do start abusing ourselves even as a parent. So that is a completely different conversation. I'm not going to go into that. That has to be a different class where I teach parents how to keep a balance within themselves. So now, how do we heal it? How do we heal emotional abuse? When we are violating our own boundaries, when we are violating our own worth, where we are not seeing I'm somebody, and we keep saying things, we keep pleasing other people, and we keep feeling drained as a result of that. So the most important thing to remember is if you don't love yourself, you don't love anybody else. You might say, I'm such a loving person. I love everybody. And then you are criticizing yourself. You're abusing yourself. You're not taking care of what you put in your body. That means the love that you're involved with other people is transactional. It's not unconditional. You are getting up 5 a.m. in the morning and cooking amazing breakfast for everybody. You're saying yes to every single volunteer opportunity that comes in your way, so you can take energy from it in the form of getting validation from those people. And how does that come? People say, oh my God, look at her. She is such an amazing person. She's such a giver. She's so this, she's so that. Only you know. And I can say that because that is the kind of work I do within me and also facilitate other people. Only you know you're looking for that sugar outside of you. Now, let me show you what is another way of being. You love yourself to a level where you're full, where the whole year can go by and nobody praised you, nobody said anything to you, you still feel high because you're giving that energy to yourself. And now you go out in the world and you share from overflow where you have nurtured really good breakfast for yourself. So now you feel so good making it for your family as well. And you're not expecting a thank you. When you get to a level, you're not expecting a medal from anybody. You're not expecting, oh my God, look at her, how wonderful she is. When you get to a level, you're not expecting that. And in fact, you're okay somebody saying you're horrible when you know you have done nothing but wonderful thing for the other person. That is when you have gotten to a healthy place of emotional nurturing yourself. You're not in the dimension of emotional abuse that much. Still, there will always be work. There will always be deeper layers that will show themselves to you because now you are ready to see them. Like what I get to see today within me, I couldn't see it even 6 months ago because now I am more deeper, deeper, deeper. And when the layer comes, I'm like, had no idea it still existed. So that is one thing. And the second aspect of it is, can you become the most important person in your life? When you wake up in the morning, you're maybe worried about your job, you're maybe worried about what I'm going to cook today, you're maybe worried about where the bills are going to get paid. There are all kind of worries. You're maybe worried about if that person or that friend or, that comment that I got on Facebook, if they still like me. If you can leave all that to the side and you can just look at yourself and you can feel your most important person. Because if you cannot see that, how would you nurture yourself? You won't be able to nurture yourself. Is your day being led or structured from a place of, I'm the most important person? I need the best amount of sleep. I need the best kind of food. Even if I eat less, even if I am on a budget right now, but can I put a thought into before I give to myself? My friend, that energy makes you tap into the abundance of life. Abundance is what makes you magnetic. People are drawn to you because somewhere within you, you have tapped into the abundance. And when I talk about abundance, it's not money. It's feeling rich because you feel you are somebody who's worthy of being nurtured and taken care of by yourself. When you are at that level, people will come to you. They will tell you you're wrong, why you're not afraid, why you're worried. I don't like you. They will say all kind of things, but you won't feel the need to retaliate. You would not feel the need to fix them. You will not feel the need to, I need to tell them how good I am. I need them to see how good I am. There would be none of that. They'll come to you, they'll say all this, and you'll just smile because you're full. You cannot take in whatever someone is throwing at you, because whatever we throw at other people, it belongs to us. So if a person is coming to you and they're sharing, unhealthy ways of speaking or being, that's how they are full within them. If someone comes to you and they share a fear or a concern or a worry, that means they are full of worry, concern, and fears. They don't belong to you. They belong to them. If you're full with, I'm fine, I'm good, I got me, I'll nurture myself physically, I'll nurture myself emotionally, I'll validate myself, I'll go through life, having different experience, and no matter what experience I have the capacity to love myself through every experience. That is the benefit you can get when you give yourself at a deep emotional level where you start seeing yourself as, I am the most important person in my life. Again, that is not being a narcissistic. I know there are going to be people out there who are going to right away get triggered. Well, how can I be an important person? How could I be so important? That is a telltale sign you're emotionally abusing yourself. And it's okay if you're not ready to accept that. It's completely okay. It takes us time to become aware of all these energy holes that are within us that we are not equipped or skilled enough to fill ourselves, and we go outside and we fill it with stuff, with people's opinion, with people's validation. It does take a decent amount of work to become an emotionally independent human. And that is the best gift you can give to yourself, and you can give it to humanity. But I will also say it does require a lot of investment of time, your energy, and your money in most cases. You don't get to that place just by reading 2 books and watching 5 YouTube videos. Even with this, you won't get there. It does require much deeper digging. But for now, for the time being, tomorrow morning, wake up and ask yourself, if I am the most important person in my life, how do I want to treat myself? Do I want to take a shower, or do I want to skip it? Do I want to have a good skincare routine, or do I want to skip it? Am I going to nurture myself with good breakfast, or am I going to skip it? Am I going to show up at work being miserable, or am I going to show up at work as if I am important? I'm an important asset to whatever you're doing in your life. Just stay there. You will feel by the end of the day, you're going to feel full. So when you will meet with your family, with your friends, or maybe your coworkers after work, or whatever you do in your personal time, other people are going to be drawn towards you. That is the energy of abundance. It makes you magnetic when you start to feel yourself emotionally, when you're not abusing yourself, when you're not depending on other people for their energy to make you feel like you're somebody. So I'm going to speed up a little bit. We have one more category called spiritual. Now, spiritual abuse is one of those categories that most of us have no idea we are spiritually abusing ourselves because we don't even know it exists. Um, Unfortunately, right now, a lot of people are stuck in either being religious. It's very important for them to, I am this religion and I do X, Y, and Z, and they are miserable inside. They don't know why I'm miserable. And I used to be that person. I was doing X, Y, and Z, and I was still depressed, still angry, still miserable. And I had no idea why. I had no idea why. Those are the questions that got me on the path where I'm today, that today I proudly call myself the student of the universe. And then there are those who don't want to engage in the religion because it's too strict or too much, so they call themselves I'm a spiritual person. What does that even mean? Maybe I meditate, maybe I do yoga, maybe I just sit there, maybe I just walk in nature, maybe I just talk to God. But then what happened? They are seeking validation from other people. I'm not talking about everybody falls in that category, but if you call yourself a spiritual person and then you're abusing yourself physically, you're abusing yourself emotionally, most likely you're also abusing yourself spiritually. What does that mean? We talked about abuse equal disconnect. You're spiritually disconnected. Yes, you're maybe following something, but there's not being a contact made with your soul. In the modern day world, we just think like, everything is science. And I mean, I come from a science background, so I come in that category too. But no matter where we go, no matter what we do, there's something that is in a living being. When it leaves, we are dead. Whether it's your cat, whether it's your dog, whether it's your hamster, your mouse, your fish, whether it's your own body. What is that something? Making contact with that something is spirituality. Because making contact with that something connects you with the source, with the higher power, with the light that carries on every single thing in this universe. So, how do we even nurture that connection? You might be, I used to pray, and even now I have that experience. I will finish my prayer. As a Muslim, I pray 5 times. I'll finish my prayer, and I felt nothing. All I did was I was having an argument in my head. I was thinking what I'm going to cook. And I was also thinking, did I leave the stove on? That is not spirituality, my friend. If you're sitting in meditation every day, you're coming out of it with a bigger ball of fur on your head in terms of fuzzy thoughts, you did not make the connection. And when I'm talking about connection, I'm talking about with your soul, with the true part of you, the essence that you really are. We are not this body. We are not this mind. We are not these emotions. We are not these behavior patterns. We are an infinite being. And if right now in your life there's no time to connect with your non-physical self, that is spiritual abuse. Because maybe at some point you started hating religious people because of some kind of abuse that you saw, or you started hating spirituality altogether, or you consider yourself atheist, not arguing with that. That is when you are in a spiritual abuse category. Disconnect. Abuse is disconnect, imbalance. What is something you can do about it? It's very easy. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. Just sit with yourself, close your eyes, and feel this power moving through your whole body. Feel this power around you, the energy field around you. Most of us, we think like, soul comes into the body, and when soul leaves, like, body is dead. Yes, the study of soul is a little bit more complicated than our mind can understand. The reason I'm smiling, because that is something I'm so passionate about, and that is what I do in my own personal studies. Our body is in the middle of an energy field called our soul. So when you start to feel that energy around you, what's happening? Again, we are connecting with the consciousness of that aspect of us. It's just like right now, I'll say, hey, think about your right toe. Wiggle your right toe. As you're doing that, what's happening? You're becoming aware of your right toe. And now you feel like, oh, I have the power to move it. How about if you become aware of your soul, and then you get to a level, I have the power to harness this energy in my life. I can become this infinite being because that is my truth. When you would try to bring unlimited essence of your in different aspect of your life, what will change? How would your impact on this world will change? How would your physical health change? How would your financial health change? And whenever our financial health changes, either you are a consumer or either you are a giver, no matter what you are, you're adding to the jobs that are being created. You are being an important asset. Whether you earn 70,000 or you earn 70 million, when you spend that money, when you hire other people, you're adding to the life cycle of so many people. That is where you can go. And when you feel full, being in touch with your soul, my friend, that is when you stop depending on other people's energy, which is their validation, their concerns for you, their love for you, their care for you. That is when you start getting to a place where you feel independent, where you feel like I am somebody. I can do this. I can be here. I don't need to depend on whatever physical is happening around me. But this again requires discipline. It requires dedication. It requires a desire to be a different version of you than you are right now. If you don't have that desire, you will never have time to sit for 5 minutes and just feel your soul. That is one of my most favorite thing to do whenever I get stuck in a dark space and I'm trying to talk myself out of it. I'm trying to control my thoughts, or I'm doing whatever in my brain. Then I just close my eyes and I hang out with my soul. That's what I like to call it. And the more time I spend paying attention to how infinite I am, the less significant whatever is in front of me becomes, no matter whatever is going on in front of me. That is the power you have within you right now. You can access it. And if you need my help, if you would love to receive my help, if you're ready to receive help in this area and finally heal the self-abuse and connect with all parts of you, feel that wholeness. You can always reach out to me. You can go to my website, aliyajmalcoaching.com, and you can book a consultation, or you can send me a DM, and I would love to be your guide on this beautiful journey of inner healing. That is all for today. I'll be back next Thursday with more. Sending you all so much love. Please share this with other people because more people need to hear this. Sending you love. Bye.